Hello and a big welcome to the channel. I'm the Motorsport Madman and this is qualifying ahead of the 2024 Austrian Grand Prix. If you are new to the channel, if you are a Formula 1 fan as well, get yourself subscribed. I'm live for every single Grand Prix from the Formula 1 World Championship, and this is round 11. I need to change that little graphic there. We are on round 11, F1 round. Let me edit that real quick. But yeah, hope you're well. Hope you're up for this. I've already missed most of this Grand Prix weekend. I did not know that this was a sprint weekend until yesterday. So, yeah, I'd already scheduled the streams. I'd already scheduled my work pattern around qualifying and the race. So we've already missed sprint qualifying and the sprint race this morning. So big ups, you know, F1 channel on massive F1 channel. Let's do all the sessions. Yeah, I've missed a lot this weekend, but sprint race weekend, I can't do all the sessions, but we're here for the main qualifying and obviously the Grand Prix tomorrow, so I'm here for the big ones. But sprint race this morning at 11 a.m, if any of you saw that, was a good one, or at least the first half of it was. We had McLaren both McLarens of Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri really giving Max Verstappen a tough time for the sprint Grand Prix victory this morning. It was brilliant. McLaren have caught up. McLaren are now arguably the fastest car on the grid. So, like I was saying a couple of races ago, this championship's going to be good. Well, championship, I don't know, but the season's going to be good. This season's going to be good because McLaren are on a par with Red Bull. So, bring it on, bring it on. We're going to have Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri giving Max Verstappen a good run for his money from now, or from a few races ago, to the end of the season, hopefully. So, yeah, it's not the Max Verstappen walk-along show. Hopefully we've got some really good competition this season. McLaren are there, and then just behind that, we've got Mercedes and Ferrari sort of battling for third of the fastest team. So, yeah. Up for this one, see what happens in quali. The gaps are going to be minuscule because it's only a 1 minute 5 lap anyway. I think it's the shortest lap on the calendar. Monaco's in its own realm, but as a proper circuit, this is the shortest circuit. So the gaps are going to be thousands, hundredths of a second at the end of this one. But I'm hoping for a McLaren front row. I can't lie, you know. If I had McLaren merch, I'd have it on. You know how I float about, depending on the news, quick. But no, I want a championship fight, and our best chance of that this season is McLaren. Big ups, Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri. They were second and third. I think it was Piastri second this morning, and Norris ended up third. But another one that got away from him, they should have won it, really. But yeah, welcome to the stream, Kim, Chrissy, Ernesto, CL2, and Todd. Welcome to the stream, guys, and we are about 10 minutes away from qualifying. Yeah, cheers, you've already liked and commented on all upcoming videos. Yeah, tomorrow's the one to get you in the Viewers' Championship round 11, which will probably be late on Monday night. I'll probably do it Monday night, but like 10:30, 11 at night, because I'll be at work till 9:30, so... Yeah, Viewers Championship's going to be a late night one on Monday, but yeah, welcome to the stream, guys. Godfather Noon. Oh, good afternoon, Godfather. Yeah, good afternoon, Todd. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, it's going to be good now. From now to the end of the season, it's actually picked up a lot since Imola. It's become a different game. Thank God, you know, because as I seem to say on every stream now, like in April, I was sat here going, nah, I can't do this. Like, you know, to commentate and react and do a watch along on Max Verstappen winning by 30 seconds. It's not the easiest thing in the world to try and make that an entertaining thing. But with Norris breathing down his neck, with Piastri breathing down his neck, all right, let's have a do. Let's have a go. It's certainly more exciting than last season anyway, so that's the main thing. Yeah, hope everything's well with you guys. Yes, Barry. Trim. No, I need to get a haircut. I've just stopped wearing the Mercedes cap because it was the bright white of the Mercedes cap that was causing the camera issue, I think. So that's it. Gone. No more Mercedes cap. Still got an Alpine one and a Aston Martin one. But yeah, Mercedes cap's done. So yeah, trim's out. Well, say trim. Scruffy hair's out. But yeah, France. What about France? From where? Oh, yeah. Todd went to France, innit? Yeah. Todd went to France. That was ages ago, Kim. Yeah. Yeah, it might have been a couple of weeks ago that. Daniel Ricciardo climbing to his RB. Qualifying starts in about 7 or 8 minutes. But yeah, it should be extremely close. It was close yesterday. I didn't see it, but I know that it was, a tenth of a second can make a massive difference now. It can be the difference between pole and like starting P6 or something like that, So it's gonna be close. Whoever comes out on top. But at least Red Bull do not have the massive advantage that they had last season and, maybe the season before that. Red Bull don't have that advantage anymore. So if Verstappen wins, it is now a hats off, literally. It is now a hats off scenario. If Verstappen goes on to dominate this season, you can't say all the haters and all that can't say, oh, it's just got the fastest car. Nah, man. He hasn't got the fastest car anymore. The McLaren have caught up. And so hopefully now in the second half of this season, when we look back at the wins, who's won the races, it should be a mixture. We should be getting Verstappen, Norris, Piastri. I want to see Piastri win a Grand Prix this season. He's now got the equipment to do so, and he's come close. I think he's had 2 or 3 second positions. He's won a sprint race, I think, Piastri, but he's never won a fully fledged Grand Prix. Maybe that's tomorrow. But yeah, I hope to see Piastri winning a race this season now that he's got a car capable of doing it. I was hoping for a bit of a championship fight this season, but I don't know about that now. The gap was 69 points coming into this weekend, and Verstappen's just won the sprint this morning, so the gap's got to be about 75 points. Yeah, I don't know the only way they rein in Verstappen now in the Drivers' Championship is, I feel like Verstappen's going to have reliability issues. Verstappen's going to have a DNF or two really now. And I know there's a long way to go. There's probably still 500 points to fight for and he's only 70 odd ahead. But he's virtually 3 Grand Prix victories ahead. So you'd have to have, for Norris to catch Verstappen, it'd take Norris winning the next 3 and Verstappen not finishing the next 3. That's a big gap. So I'm not as confident about. I feel like Norris would have had to beat him in Canada and Spain. If Norris had won one of them two, then I'd be more like, okay, then the gap would be like 50 points. I'd be like, all right, it's possible. But 75 points is getting to a position where you're going to have to rely on something going wrong for Max now. And I know we're not even at mid-season yet, but we're almost at mid-season. And I think the real fight, what is more of a genuine fight, is Constructors' Championship. If Verstappen's winning, but Perez is, I said this the other week, if Verstappen's winning, but Perez is finishing 8th, 9th, 10th, and you're getting like 2 McLarens on the podium, or 2 Mercs on the podium, or Ferraris up there, then they're going to be really under pressure for the Constructors' Championship. I've got to start thinking that McLaren now should be almost favourites to win the Constructors' Championship now, because both of them drivers are putting in a shift. Both of them drivers are getting big points every weekend, whereas Perez has just been in horrendous form since about round 4. He did the first 4 races, he was on the podium, and then the last 4 or 5 races, he's been nowhere near it. So, yeah, that's where the big fight is. Drivers' Championship's now becoming a little bit of a stretch. Man U play Rangers next month. Oh, what, in like a pre-season friendly thing? I think Lando will do in this one. Well, the race is tomorrow, but qualifying right now. I'm like I say, I'm hoping for a McLaren front row. I want McLaren 1-2 on the grid right now. That's what I want to see. That sets us up for a more interesting race, I feel. If Verstappen snags the pole, as he did yesterday, it can still be an interesting race, as we saw with the sprint this morning, or we didn't see that. We didn't see it on the channel anyway. But yeah, it can still be interesting with Verstappen on pole, but a McLaren front row just gives it that extra bit of that extra little bit of spice going into the Grand Prix tomorrow. So that's what I'm looking for. Whether it's Piastri or Norris, I don't mind, but I want to see the McLaren 1-2 on the grid. If someone else can get in there as well, I fully back. I'm not just all about McLaren. I fully back a Hamilton pole or Russell pole or Sainz or Leclerc, but realistically, McLaren have got to start. It's starting to be like. I saw a thing on Twitter before where it was a picture of Norris and he looked gutted. He was just sat there like this, and it was like, and the headline was something like another one that got away. And it's starting to get like McLaren have now got the equipment, and it's starting to be like, oh, another one that got away. And then they arrive at the next race, oh, another one where they just got pipped to the post. And then they arrive at the next race, oh, another one where shoulda, woulda, coulda. They need to start nailing these pole positions, and more importantly, they need to start nailing these victories if they're going to have a hope of catching him, because he's just stretching out that gap a little bit too much now. But yeah, all of it. Now, it's not McLaren have the speed. It's Lando being very, 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 very good. No, it is McLaren. No, McLaren have caught up, man. Because Piastri was second. Piastri beat Norris a couple of hours ago, this morning. But nah, honestly, CL2, McLaren are there. McLaren have caught up, and it's game on for the rest of this season. Nice, easy start for Rangers. Shut up, you mag. You look completely different now. Why? Why would he look different? What's he done? Oh, you what? Shaved all your hair off or something for summer? I'm not doing that. Not signing me up to shaving my head for summer. As a McLaren fan, you're so happy. Is it? We're finally by. Is it we, like a football team? Nah, big ups, man. If you're a die-hard McLaren fan, rock it. Go with the we. That's not anything I'll ever say. But yeah. I think you're gonna have a lot to celebrate this season. McLaren are back at the front, so big ups, man. It's been a long time. It's been a decade. ACL2. Let me ask you this one. I don't know how old you are, but was you a McLaren fan in the McLaren Honda days, like 2015, 16, 17? Because if you went through that, then fair play. If you went through being a McLaren fan in 2015, 16, then this now is a long overdue little bit of glory, because those days were horrendous to be a McLaren fan. They couldn't even do 10 laps without breaking down. Fernando Alonso used to have to push his car around the circuit. It was a joke. So if you've gone through that era, big respect. If you're jumping on it now, if you're a McLaren fan from like last season onwards, then all right. Yes, unfortunately. Well, that's it. You got to go through the pain. You've been through the pain. Now you get the bit of the glory. So fair enough, man. Fair enough. Shall we play Man U, Ajax, Union Berlin? Oh, these are all like pre-season stuff. It's Switzerland, Italy after this, isn't it? Switzerland, Italy at 5, and then 8 o'clock, Germany, Denmark. So Euros knockout stages are on. I'll be watching them. I'm glad this doesn't clash with any of the Euros so far. Piastri and Norris could both beat Max in equal machinery. I'm not sure about that. Lando and Piastri have something different in the turns. I'm not sure about that. I mean, if you put them all in the same car, I still think Max is at the front. But there's not much between them. But Max seems to always have that little bit of a margin, that little bit of magic. He can just pull out that extra tenth. And plus the team always get it right as well. Red Bull are very good. You know, that's something that's never really talked about. But the team with the strategies, the pit stops are always the quickest. The strategies are always bang on. Red Bull are an organised outfit, you know, and they always... and then they put Verstappen in the car, and it's been a little bit, well, it's been unbeatable, hasn't it? But it's a lot closer now. It's a lot closer now. It's almost, it's neck and neck now. Don't shave your head, no chance. I have done it before though. I shaved my head live on a Demcast, me. I was absolutely steaming as a rocket. Brentford. Oh, you're talking about pre-season friendlies. Miss what I said? Oh, I've just been waffling on about Verstappen and Norris and Piastri. But yeah, anyway, Q1 is underway. If you don't know how qualifying works, I always like to do a little bit of an explainer just in case we've got any new people in or anyone that's... I appreciate that a lot of people that watch this are primarily football fans that have come over from other channels. So big up the JA and big up Developers channel as well. But yeah, if you don't know how qualifying works, it is split into 3 sections. So this is Q1. It's an 18-minute session, at the end of which the bottom 5 will be knocked out. And so the slowest 5 will be knocked out. Their grid position will be set. Then the top 15 go through to Q2 at the end of that session, which is a 15-minute session, and the slowest 5 get knocked out again. So that'll be 11th through 15th. And then the top 10 go through to the pole position shootout, Q3. That's a 12-minute session, and that is the battle for pole. And at the end of that, we get the top 10 for the grid. So this session... This little 40 minutes left to go, this little session is just not about being in that bottom 5. That is what it's about. So it doesn't matter if you're absolutely rapid in this one, as long as you get through and avoid getting knocked out. What's my favourite McLaren road car? Probably McLaren Senna. Have you ever seen that, Barry? But a lot of the GT cars all look the same to me. I wouldn't be able to tell the difference between a McLaren 650S and a McLaren 670S or a McLaren 720S or to me they all look they're all much of a muchness really, aren't they? But McLaren Senna, if you don't know what that is, I've looked that up. They're like millions. You know what I mean? They're millions them. Yeah, Senna's the one, innit? Me and Rob are on knockout duty today. Got to uppercut him. Yeah. You're the biggest Audi fan. You don't want McLaren. Just give me an RS6. Well, what are you going to do when Audi come into F1 then? Because Audi are on the way. Audi are entering in 26. So what are you going to do? What are you saying? Are you going to support Team Audi or are you going to stick with McLaren? What are you saying? Because they've already signed up Hulkenberg as well. I don't know who the other driver's going to be for Audi. That's one for debate, isn't it? Who gets the other... I don't know whether they're going to stick with Zhou Guanyu. I'd say probably not, unless he's bringing a hell of a lot of budget, which he probably is. I don't know. I think it's Sainz. Do you know, I was dead certain that Sainz was going to sign for Williams. But now, do you know what? I wouldn't rule out Sainz to Alpine. I would not rule out Sainz to Alpine. Bottas to Williams. You know what I mean? And I think Haas is going to be Ocon Behrman. I think that's pretty much, without anything announced, I think that's pretty much set in stone. You're going to have Ocon Behrman at Haas. But I wouldn't put the Sainz Alpine thing. I don't think Sainz will go for the Audi project. I think that's the biggest gamble. I think he was going to sign on the dotted line for Williams, but something's... I wonder if Flavio Briatore coming back into Alpine has sort of upset the apple cart a bit, and now Sainz is sort of holding fire on signing for Williams. I won't be surprised if Sainz goes for the Alpine drive. But we'll see. Sainz is running out of options. You know, Mercedes weren't, well, as far as I understand it, Mercedes weren't willing to offer him a long-term deal. And because Mercedes want Antonelli, Red Bull have signed up Perez for the next 2 years. So Sainz is running out of options. You go in Team Proper 12. Ernesto, Robin, Denver is the team. Who's the drivers? Are you owning it and me and Denver will drive? Stick Denver in after 40 Leos. He'll get the job done. Rightio, what's happening then? What's happening on track? I've waffled on enough. We've got 10 minutes to go in Q1. It's Russell and Leclerc at the top at the moment, but the bottom 5 is what it's all about in this section, and it is at the moment Bottas, Sargent, Alonso, Gasly, and Stroll, who need to improve, but they've got 9.5 minutes to do so, so don't panic yet. Alan McNeish. Oh, what? Get him in for Audi. Yeah. Is he the guy that won, that's won Le Mans, a countless amount of times? He won Le Mans, 7 times or something, Alan McNeish, with Audi. I was an absolute beast in the endurance scene, wasn't he, Alan McNeish? He maybe even won it more than 7 times. If Denver's a driver, we're screwed. Yeah, Alan McNeish was an absolute beast. Anyway, Sainz is purple, sector 1. Verstappen purple, sector 2 then. Still Russell at the top at the moment. Sonoda's P5, but it's early on. It's early on. We don't get too excited yet. We're going to bide your time. Verstappen across the line then. 0.3 quicker than Russell. Goes to the top. Here comes Sergio Perez and round the final corner to the line. Goes third. Sainz looks like he's on a quick lap, and boom. Oh, quick. Okay. Ferrari are in the game, are they? I mean, we're early on in Q1. It's early doors. But yeah, Sainz looking good. Gone to the top of the timing screens by 73 thousandths. Gasly goes 8th in the Alpine. A much improved Alpine from the beginning of the season. Leclerc crosses the line, then goes 3rd. So we've now got Ferrari, Red Bull, Ferrari at the top. Alonso round the final corner then to the line. And Alonso pops up to 6th. Ernesto, if it's understeer, I'll be your driver. If it's Verstappen easy. Hey, you've seen me on the Drivers' Championship. Give me a seat, Ernesto. I never spin. I've had 10 perfectly clean races on that Viewers' Championship. You know what I mean? That's my CV right there. Do you go back and watch them 10 races? That is my CV. Get me in. Denver as a driver. Imagine making a pit stop instead of changing tyres. Yeah, changes his can for a new can. Yeah, that would be. Lies. I've had the odd little scrape. And bump and bang, but nothing major. I do have crash damage turned off for a very good reason, though, because there had been many a race that just would end 5 minutes in because I stuffed it in the wall. So, yeah, crash damage is turned off in that championship. Damn right. We don't want any DNFs. Anyway, I get onto a tangent and 5 minutes goes down the drain. Right, where are we up to? At the bottom is Stroll, Hulkenberg, Sargent, and the two Saubers at the moment. Bottas goes P13. Sainz is at the top. Look how close it is. Less than a tenth between the top three. Not that that matters yet, but it will do. Give it another 40 minutes or so, and that will matter. Swap positions, Rob, as a driver. I'm faster. I never spin out, you know. Yeah. I'll be the driver. What, a one car team? That's not even allowed. Just enter F1. In fact, I could buy the F1 game, and there's a thing called My Team where you create your own team on the F1 game. Should we do that? Should we do a series on that? Create our own team. Call it, what did you say, Ernesto? Yeah, Proper 12. We'll call it Proper 12. We'll put the driver as Denver on the Leos. We'll do a career mode. What do you say? What do you reckon? Enter F1 as an 11th team. Thing is, F1 game's crap on the sim, though, but I could do it as a bit of fun. But anyway, 5 minutes to go in Q1. Sainz leads Piastri at the moment. Well, leads. Sainz fastest on a 1.5.263. Half a tenth to Piastri. 7 100ths to Verstappen. Then Norris is 2 tenths off the pace. But at the bottom, which is the most important part, is Lewis Hamilton, P16, and needs a lap. Hamilton under pressure then. It's then Stroll, Hulkenberg, Sargent, and Zhou. So they're the ones that are massively under pressure to improve. You've got Gasly, P5. I guess that's what you meant to say, P5. I mean, fair play to your bold predictions. Fair play to your bold predictions, man. You're not scared to go against the grain. I respect that. That would be a madness. Not impossible, but that would be a bloody good qualifying for Alpine. That if they can get top 5, that's a bit of a mad. I think they'll be back end of the top 10, 9th and 10th, 10th and 12th, 11th and 9th. Something like that is what I'd say for Alpine. But if he gets P5, big ups. If Denver's driving, you'll end up in every gay bar and karaoke club. No, don't. Misclick, yeah, P5. Audi should go for Gasly. Gasly's signed up for Alpine. I don't know how long that deal is, though. At least, surely it'd be like a couple of years. But yeah, Gasly's committed to Alpine. Ocon's gone. Ocon will go to Haas, probably. But yeah, Audi. I don't know what Audi are gonna do. They've got Hulkenberg in one seat. For the other seat, maybe they go for like a new, exciting talent. I don't know. It's a big mystery, that. Offer him an Alpine bear. We've seen crazier things have happened, haven't they? So, but I don't think so. Because I think if Audi were looking at Gasly, they would have been talking to him before he signed this contract. So they're just not looking at him, or either that or Gasly's chosen an Alpine. Either way, I think that ain't happening. Maybe I'd like to see Audi go all in for like Albon or something like that. I don't know. It's an interesting one, that. Anyway, we have got 2 minutes to go, and Lewis Hamilton starts a flying lap, of which he needs to improve to get out of Q1. Under pressure. He's only 4 thousandths of a second. Yeah, they're comparing his time against Sonoda's in P15. And he's only just about safe at the moment with this lap. Let's see what the middle sector's saying. Come on then, Lewis. 3/10 up on Sonoda. But Lewis is still needs a good final sector. Gasly goes P6. CL2 coming in with a shout yet again. Early days, but it's looking good. As Hamilton goes P6 then. Not too bad. And he's safe with that. So that pushes Sonoda down into the bottom 5 then. So Sonoda, Stroll, Hülkenberg, Sargent and Zhou need to improve if they want to get out of Q1. We are looking at the Haas of Nico Hülkenberg, who's down in 18th. Ocon improves to 7th. Here comes Hülkenberg to the line then, with 46 seconds remaining. Bang, P9. You ain't knocking Nico Hülkenberg out in Q1. Forget it. Here comes Kevin Magnussen then, who started the sprint race from 11th this morning. What can he do? Oh, 5th. A round of applause for Kevin Magnussen on that lap. Only 2.5 tenths off being fastest. Cat amongst the pigeons. Ricciardo goes 8th. He'll be safe with that, I would have thought. I can't see 10 drivers improving in the last 15 seconds, can you? Sonoda goes 8th. So RB's 8th and 9th. Anybody can get knocked out here. Where's Perez? Is Perez on a lap? He might be in trouble if he's not. Albon improves, but only to 15th. Gasly 13th. That's gonna be squeaky bum time. It depends who's improving behind. Alonso and Stroll are both in the bottom 5 at the moment. Alonso, this is Lance Stroll, sorry, round the final corner. Improves, but he's out. Stroll's definitely out then, in P16 at best. Alonso, oh, he's on the bubble. Alonso improves to 15th, but you've got Perez improving. Oh, you could have a situation where both Astons are out here. Sargent's out. He's improved, but only to 19th. So Albon, Stroll and Sargent are all confirmed out. Perez improves to 12th. Not fantastic. Bottas is out in 18th. And I presume then, because the camera's not going to him, that Zhou's out. So Alonso scrapes through Q1. Albon's out in P16. Lance Stroll out P17. Valtteri Bottas out P18. Logan Sargent out in P19. How many more races are he going to get in his Formula 1 career? I wouldn't imagine too many. Zhou Guanyu out in P20 and last. So both Williams, both Saubers and an Aston Martin knocked out in Q1. Alonso scrapes through. But lap of Q1 has to go to your boy, Kevin Magnussen. Slaps it P5. Oh, that'll be reset. That won't matter. What is set is Albon down to Zhou. That is now set in stone. And we go again for Q2 in about 3 or 4 minutes' time. Oh, don't give me that attitude, Matty. Don't slap me with that truth. As long as it's close, I can live with it. As long as it's close. And it will be. Even if he does do it, it will be close. So I've got to take the positives out of this season, Matty. Because it's a damn sight better than 2023. So glass half full for me, Matty. Glass half full. It can't be any worse than last season. So I'm hoping for the McLaren front row here, though. I really am. Whether we get it, it's a different story, but anyone but Max. Mr. Inevitable. Yeah. Is that what you call him, is it? I think I've been calling him that for the last 12 months or so. So did I get it off you? funny. Yeah, the inevitable. We'll see. We shall see. As long as it's competitive, I can live with that. You know, he's not going to slap them all by half a second, is he? If he takes pole, you're going to be talking hundredths, if not thousandths of a second. So, but yeah, Barry, anyone but Max is sort of the theme, really. But it's a difficult one because I just want it. At the end of the day, the holy grail for me is a championship battle. And so I'm going to cheer on anything that makes that more of a reality, basically. If someone else was dominating the championship and, Max was 70 points behind, I'd be cheering on Max. I really would. I don't want anybody winning. I mean, it'd be nice for a while. If all of a sudden Norris started dominating it, it'd be nice for a little bit. But I'd soon be cheering on someone else. You know what I mean? I'd soon be like, I don't want this. I just want it close. But in Formula One, we don't always get it close. Hide your kids, hide your husbands. Oh, that was one of the funniest clips, wasn't it? So this is why Stroll got a multi-year contract. Yes. Stroll signed up for the next 2 years at least. Fully deserved, I always say. It was never even talked about, it was never even under debate that he might lose the seat. That's the scary thing. It was never even considered that he could lose the seat. That's what's scary. But I feel Lance Stroll's an odd situation because it's not. You're going to shoot me for saying this, but it's not that bad. It's bad, but it's not embarrassingly bad. It's not like Nikita Mazepin bad, where he's clearly not up to scratch. Then it'd just be an absolute. Well, then someone would have to step in and. But because Lance Stroll, it's not like Lance Stroll's last every single race, is it? And 2.5 seconds a lap slower than everyone. And he's just a regular bloke that's been stuck in there and he doesn't belong. He's sort of good enough to not make it an absolute embarrassment, but not good enough to retain it. It's a weird one. Lance Stroll. He's just about good enough to where it's not outrageous that he's in F1. You know what I'm trying to say? It's a difficult situation, that. I'd want Lando winning everything. It soon get boring, though. Well, from my perspective, it does. Anybody winning for a length of time soon gets stale for me, no matter who it is. Right now in F1, it's basically the fastest car on the grid versus the best driver on the grid. Yeah. Hey, but that's better than it's been. That's better than it's been for the last couple of years, isn't it, though? It is. McLaren are now... Do you think McLaren are the fastest car then now? SHC, or Sean, should I say. Do you think McLaren are now the fastest car? I reckon they're about on par. Lando's the better driver, but Max is way faster. How does that make sense? Oh, you mean Max's car is faster or what? Lance would just be better off. Yeah, I feel like that should have been the move. They should have put Lance, because he's a good driver. Like, obviously, you're putting him in a category where it's the best drivers in the world. It's a tough gig. He's still a good driver. Like, if you put Lance Stroll in World Endurance Championship, he'd probably do very well. You know, Lance Stroll's had flashes of, you know, he's had a pole position, he's had front row starts, and he's had the odd podium. He's not been utterly hopeless. He's just not good enough. So, I don't know. But they should have, without a doubt, they should have put him in WEC, and that should have been the last we heard from him. And still makes a good career out of it. Whatever. It is weird. It is weird. It's not right, is it? That he's in F1 indefinitely. Red Bull are faster by a slim margin. Yeah. Perez probably wouldn't agree with you, though, would he? From Perez's point of view, he's probably convinced that McLaren are faster. I reckon if they asked Sergio Perez, well, they probably already have, like, who's got the faster car? Perez would probably say McLaren. Because from his point of view, he can't beat the McLarens. Maybe he does today and, you know, maybe he does tomorrow, but it's not looking likely, is it? So I don't really know, but Perez doesn't represent what Red Bull can do, though. It doesn't represent the potential of the car, does he? But does Max go beyond the potential of the car, if you get what I mean? Is Max outperforming it? That's the big one. Is Max getting more out of that Red Bull than any of the other 19 drivers would? I think yes. I think he is. I think he's getting more out of that car than any of the other drivers would. So, the true performance is probably somewhere in the middle. Yeah, Max out driving it, exactly. If his footballer be on the bench, Lance Stroll. Yeah, man, it's like him continually starting for a top team, where really he's a good footballer, but you should be at West Brom. You should be at Norwich. You shouldn't be a striker at Man United. You know, it's like that. You're still a decent footballer. Lance Stroll's still a decent driver. But is he absolute elite? Top of the line? No. So it's a bit of a weird one. You say McLaren are faster. Do you reckon? I reckon, yeah. I hope that's the case. I think you might be right. Anyway, Q2 is well underway now. 10 minutes ago, we start getting into talking into what's happening on track. We'd seen Max has done this before. During the Mercedes dominant area, man, he managed to win some races. Exactly, you know, Max always gets the max out of it. You know, Max always... You know, I feel like by the time Verstappen retires, he'll go down as one of the greatest, if not the greatest of all time. You know, it's just one of them. You know, you put Michael Schumacher in a Ferrari, it was over. Max Verstappen in a Red Bull, it's over. Yes, Anto, welcome to the stream, bro. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, Verstappen's gone purple, first sector, talk of the devil. So we're starting to get to the important laps now at the second half of Q2. At the end of this session, of course, it is just about not being in the bottom 5. So 11th through 15th will be knocked out. And Verstappen goes a second faster than Charles Leclerc. Well, eat that, everybody. Verstappen's just dropped the gauntlet. And yeah, that's going to be a hard one to follow up. Hamilton does a 1 minute 5.2 within 3/10. Oh, sorry, no, it's not. It's 6.5. Oh. Russell goes second then, within half a second of Verstappen's lap. And Ricciardo goes P4 in the RB. RB 4th and 5th at the moment. Can they get through to Q3? With that pace, it's not looking impossible. Piastri goes third then. A 1 minute 5 flat. Some half a second off Verstappen. 8 minutes to go in Q2. Norris round the final couple of corners then. So at the moment it's Verstappen at the top with from Russell, Piastri, Hamilton. Here comes Norris to the line. Bang, P4. Okay. Max has found something here. Max has found a couple of tenths here. Hulkenberg goes 8th in the Haas. Look, he got a good pace this weekend, Kevin Magnussen. Oh, sorry, that was Hulkenberg, but we'll see what Magnussen does as well. But Haas are decent. Go on, Kevin. And across the line comes Magnussen, then improves to 11th. So needs a better lap if he's going to get through, but it's not a bad performance. Ocon goes P7 then in the Alpine. Russell's in the pits. Right, what were we saying? I mean, when he first came to F1, we already know how a quick driver he is. He just makes a lot of mistakes during his young age. No, he doesn't make much mistakes. Oh, good he is. Yeah. Yeah, what, Verstappen? Yeah, we already knew. Here comes Carlos Sainz then into the final sector. He's 15th and last at the moment, but not for very much longer. To the line. Bang, P2. Well, none of them can get near that Max Verstappen lap. So Matty P might be right, we all know. No, Max has found something here. Because he wasn't half a second clear at any point this weekend. Until it matters. Leclerc goes P6 then in the other Ferrari. So Ferrari's 2nd and 6th at the moment. Now, with 5.5 minutes to go, we start looking at the bottom 5 then, 11th through 15th, is Gasly, Tsunoda, Hulkenberg, Magnussen and Alonso. Aston Martin are really struggling. So, yeah, we've got the usual suspects in the top 8, both Red Bulls, both Ferraris, both McLarens, both Mercedes, and then 9th and 10th, Ocon, Ricciardo. So you're likely to get both drivers from the top 4 teams all in Q3. I mean, Perez is never a dead cert, but you're likely to get that scenario. So it's about who's going to creep through to Q3 in P9 and 10, basically. And Alonso lost the rear end, nearly crashed, he said. Whew. It's always come on, Campbell. We never come on. I know. I've got a soft spot for Magnussen. That's the thing with me. I have my favourites. I have like a group of favourites. Albon, Tsunoda, Alonso, Piastri, Hulkenberg. No, sorry, not Hulkenberg. Magnussen, Gasly. Those 6, really. I don't have a soft spot for someone. Yeah, I do like Kevin Magnussen's balls to the wall, don't give a damn attitude. hard racing at any opportunity, even if it's for P16. Kevin Magnussen going to run you off into the grass or try and put you in the wall or break your front wing. You don't give a damn, mate. And I respect that. I like that about Kevin Magnussen. And yeah, he breaks all the rules and gets all the time penalties you could ever wish for. And he gets all the stop-go penalties and all the penalty points. But I like it, man. I'm glad that there's a driver like that on the grid that doesn't give an inch. I do like that. It makes the sport a little bit more exciting than it would be. And I feel like the sport will miss Kevin Magnussen next season when he's not there, giving it L for 11 for P15, running people off into the grass, and we will miss something. I'd rather be like Kevin Magnussen than be anonymous, put it that way. There's a lot of anonymous drivers, like Zhou Guanyu, anonymous. I mean, there's been a lot of it. Logan Sargent, anonymous. I'd rather be Kevin Magnussen, get my elbows out, damage a few front wings, get a few penalty points, but be talked about. And be sort of feared as well in a way. You know, if someone's coming up to overtake Kevin Magnussen, you'd be thinking, oh no, not Kevin. But if you're coming up to the back of Zhou Guanyu to overtake Zhou Guanyu, easy prey, innit? That's what you'd be thinking. If you were against these guys, you'd be coming up to Zhou and thinking, all right. You're coming up to the back of Kevin Magnussen and you're thinking, oh, no, not Kevin. This is going to be an absolute ball ache. But that's good, though, innit? So I have my favourites. Yeah. Yeah, Albon's Sonoda, Piastri, Alonso, Gasly. Yeah. I'm not so bothered about Norris and Russell and Leclerc and Sainz and Verstappen and I'm not really that bothered. But I'll cheer him on. If they're going to give Verstappen a run for his money, they're getting cheered on. Best believe it. But it'd be a different channel completely if it was Alex Albon fighting for the win. It'd be a different channel. It'd be screaming from the rooftops if Albon was fighting at the front. Oh my God, it'd be a different vibe completely. Might as well say the whole group. I know. I've got a group of, like I say, I've got a group about 5 or 6 that I like. Oh, Hamilton goes third. You can add Antonelli into that group as well next season. If Antonelli's in that Mercedes next season, you can add Antonelli to that list. I love a young, exciting talent like that. But Hulkenberg's got 9th. Well, we're into the last 20 seconds. Russell goes third then. So this is all about getting into that top 10 pole position shootout. At the moment, Ricciardo, Gasly, Tsunoda, Magnussen and Alonso will all be knocked out. But it's all still to play for. The final laps are on. Magnussen to the line. P12. It's not going to be good enough. It doesn't mean Hamilton's Ferrari. He'll end Max. Oh, my God, yeah. I'll come back to his comments in a minute. Because, oh, mate, honestly. Oh, Ricciardo's out. Alonso's out. Magnussen's going to be out. Gasly improves, but he's out. The P5 prediction in the bin. P12. And Ocon's through at the moment. Where's Tsunoda? Tsunoda will not improve. That's it then. Knocked out in Q2. Ricciardo, Gasly, Magnussen, Tsunoda, Alonso. So Ocon scrapes through in P10. So that's who's been knocked out there then. So Ricciardo out, in the RB, Gasly out in the Alpine, Magnussen out in the Haas, Sonoda out the RB. So both RBs been knocked out there. Oh, something just changed. I don't know what just happened there, but someone had a lap deleted or something. But Fernando Alonso, Aston Martin, 15th and 17th. Oh, Gasly's had his lap deleted. So Gasly was 12th. He's been dumped to 13th. Is that right? Right. Let me go back to the chat. What we were saying. Yeah, I was up to where CL2 said it's always come on, came over, never come on, hold. But yeah, right. There's a reason why he skipped to F2. Yeah, Verstappen just completely skipped F2, and it's proved the right thing to do. Yeah, exactly, Matty. Once Lewis is in the Ferrari next year's Max, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. The Hamilton-Ferrari combo, I'm not going to lie, it's something I've been waiting for about 20 years. So I'm getting behind that. I might as well support the entire grid next season. Nah, the Hamilton-Ferrari. I just hope that Lewis has still got it. I really hope that Lewis can sort of fire it back up again, because it's been a little bit... I know he's just come off the back of a podium in Spain, so I can't exactly say like Lewis has lost it, but I hope he can fire himself back to the, that motivation should be 100% going into next season, whereas the motivation now is sort of like, get through this season, do the best you can, but eyes on 25, man, innit, for Lewis. I would love Ferrari to come out of the blocks with a quick car, and it's Lewis against Max, and it's like Lewis's final sort of, it's Lewis's final hand at the end of the game of poker, innit? This is him going for a royal flush 7 hours into a late night poker game, this is it. All in. One final gamble. Can't wait for that. Hamilton to Ferrari will end, Max. Imagine. There's still a clerk he had to handle. Yeah. Magnussen can't do that or else to get a race ban. I know. He's got to be on best behaviour, hasn't he, Kevin Magnussen, now? Yeah, he's got to be on best behaviour. He's been a bit reckless. He's been especially reckless this season. So, yeah, he's got to rein it in a bit, unfortunately. But, I'm here to be entertained. At the end of the day, Kevin Magnussen provides a lot of that. Especially when you get a race that's not fantastic. Kevin Magnussen will always pull you out a flipping lunge or a dodgy defence. Spices it up a bit. Ricardo gutted. Wow, Ricardo P11 and just about misses out on Q3. But yeah, what we're saying. Lando, Alonso, Ricardo, Gasly and Piastri. Yeah, exactly. See, you've got a favourite group as well. Lando, Alonso, Ricardo, Gasly and Piastri. Yeah, so you got both McLarens. Alonso, Ricardo. Oh, mate. Tough one, that, man. I think Ricardo might be a spent force. I don't know. Thing is, Daniel Ricciardo might be on the driver market. If I'm Audi, I might gamble on Daniel Ricciardo rather than like Zhou Guanyu. I don't know. Yeah, Hulkenberg into Q3 again. Yeah, that's worth mentioning. So it is the top four teams, and then the 9th and 10th was the ones that who's it going to be. So the top 8 comfortably in, And then Hulkenberg and Ocon are the other two. Impressive performance from the both of them. And we'll see if they can get anything better than 9th and 10th in this final Q3 shootout. What's going on here in the pit lane? Or what did go on in the pit lane? Right. So this is to do with... So some sort of unsafe release situation. Nah, Perez. What are they moaning about? I don't know, there's some sort of pit lane investigation going on, but I don't really know what they're moaning about. Doing 2 miles an hour anyway. Oh, you mean you'll finish P5 in the race? All right. Changing the goalposts. No, if you meant that from the beginning, fair enough. You meant in quali, you can't change it now. That was a quali prediction. Don't pull my leg. You got laughing so much about Kevin analysis. Oh, mate, I love it, Kevin Magnussen. Apparently, from what I heard about some reports about why Stroll is quite close to Alonso, why Alonso doesn't seem to be the driver we knew. And I think Aston Martin have just dropped off in general, haven't they? No matter who's behind the wheel, you're not going to get much out of that Aston at the moment. I don't know why it's dropped off so much as it has. It's crazy. The development path's just been awful. If you were Audi, you'd say Hulkenberg backup driver goes Sainz and Ricciardo. I don't know if Sainz is going to risk that. Like I said before, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if he's Sainz at Alpine. I feel like it's more of a gamble to go with the Audi project because they're going to come in. Are Audi going to be quick straight off the bat? Or is it going to take Audi 3 years, 5 years to gather themselves together? Probably. By then, Sainz would be at the end of his career. GG's. Whereas he could have, if Alpine turn this round, they might be a better prospect in the next 2 or 3 years than Audi. I don't know. I mean, Audi could rock up and be quick, but I'd say that's unlikely. I might be tempted to go Ricciardo, though. If Ricciardo's on the driver market, it would be tempting to gamble on Ricciardo. And he probably will be on the driver market. I think RB are going to go Lawson. I think RB are going to go Tsunoda Lawson next season. As it stands. I mean, one miracle performance from Daniel Ricciardo and you know, that might get put to bed. But as it stands, I think Lawson's probably favourite to get that seat. Hey, you met in the Grand Prix? All right. Yes, Salty Dog, welcome to the stream, bro. How are you doing? Good to see you in the stream. You join us for Q3. So you're here for the pole position shootout, the most important part. Put them in tomorrow's video. You didn't even like the video. Do you realise what engine they have? No, I don't. Are they getting the Mercedes engine, are they? I've never thought about that. It's not about the engine, though. It's about the aero, isn't it? The engines are pretty much all on par. I mean, if you've got a Renault engine, GG's. Lewis Hamilton's ran over a jack on the way out of the pits. Not ideal at all. Are they getting a Mercedes engine? Yes, Jams are welcome to the stream, bro. Are you doing Switzerland, Italy in a bit? I'll be in if you are. I'll be in, mate. General Motors. Oh, you see, that puts them further back. If they're getting a brand new engine manufacturer, you're going to be talking years, probably. So, if you're Carlos Sainz, do you gamble on the Audi project? I don't think you do. What is Sainz? 29? He's not 21, is he? He hasn't got 10 years to. Nah, man. If I'm Carlos Sainz, I go for Alpine, to be honest, because his options are running out. It'd be between Alpine and Williams for me, and I feel like Bottas is going to get that Williams seat. I feel like it's going to be Sainz at Alpine, Bottas at Williams, back to where he started his F1 career. You know what I mean? Full circle for Valtteri Bottas. And then Ocon and Behrman at Haas. But yeah, welcome in, Jobser. Alpine are planning go for Ferrari engines. I know, that's mad, isn't it? It's a Renault factory team and they're ditching Renault engines. Oh, rip. Renault. Anyway, here we go then. Q3 is underway, good and proper. Yes, Brev, recently got yourself out of bed for the Euro stream. Oh, yeah, man. You're in. This is the crucial part as well. This is for pole position. This 7 minutes to go in Q3. Leclerc goes P3 then. So Verstappen's gone quickest in the early punches of Q3. First blood to Max Verstappen then on a 1 minute 4.4. Norris has gone second. Leclerc third. Piastri fourth. Sainz fifth. Here comes Lewis Hamilton then round the final corner. What can he do? Can he put the Mercedes in the mix? Bang. P5. It's okay, but not fantastic. Where's George Russell coming round the final corner as well? Yes, big ups, mate. Russell goes third. Okay. Not bad at all. But half a second off Max Verstappen. Verstappen has found something today. Verstappen's found something today because it was a lot closer than this yesterday in sprint qualifying. Alonso just doesn't seem to be the driver we knew lately. Yeah, he's dropped off it since he signed that contract. Using Alonso to test different. Yeah, that I have heard that, you know. That the using. I have heard that they're using Alonso to test all the new bits. So Stroll sort of gets a sort of the standard package, and then Alonso's just endlessly testing all the little bits and bobs and new things that they've got. So yeah, he's the one with the experience. He's got 20 years in the game, so he's going to give him good feedback, but it's also hurting him this season. Maybe it'll help him for an eye on next season. Maybe that's the idea. Now, if you were Audi, would you pick General Motors or Maserati? Maserati? When was the last time Maserati were in F1? 1950s. It's got to be. I had not heard that they're thinking of doing an engine in the modern era. You're the first person to say that. Or you've read some article that I've definitely not read. Because I know Ford are coming in, partnering with Red Bull, by which time I think Verstappen will be gone. I think Verstappen moves at the end of next year. I think Verstappen will move eventually. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he's writing off this season. Yeah, exactly. I think that's what it might be. That Alonso's just being given experimental bits and saying, yeah, listen, if it doesn't work, you're going to be half a second slower this weekend, but it gives us a clue for 2025. So yeah, it's sort of sacrificing the now for hopefully an improved 25 car, which is a bit of a... It's not ideal, but... But yeah, so the first blows in Q3 to Verstappen at 1 minute 4.4. No one can get near that. Norris is closest 3.5 tenths off. Then Russell, Leclerc, Piastri, Hamilton, Sainz, Perez, Ocon and Hülkenberg. It is now the lull while they get the new tyres on, wait for the time to tick down and go out again for one more lap. The final showdown is incoming. Maserati lasted until the late 60s, but it had been a while. Yeah. Yeah, when I think of Maserati in F1, I think of like the OG, like... the OG, like, Sterling Moss, Fangio, and... that kind of era. When it was like Maserati against Alfa Romeo, Mercedes and Ferrari. Before McLaren were even alive, you know what I mean? This is pre-McLaren days. Way back when. Black and white footage kind of era. I've not heard of them coming back. Oh, Maserati part of the Ferrari family anyway. Is Maserati not owned by Ferrari anyway? I'm sure they're under the same, like, corporate umbrella. Are they not? So isn't that like a conflict of interest anyway? Of course, he brings someone in desperately to be the chief technical officer. Yeah, they have not had one for over a year. Oh yeah, Maserati are in Formula E. I didn't even realise that. Yeah, they are, aren't they? There you go. Still dipping about in motorsport. All right. I mean, I don't really use Formula E as a reference into getting into F1 because it's a bit of a difference, but... Oh, it is one of the coolest logos. Without a doubt, man. I still think, as we wind up for the fastest laps, I'll get into what's happening on track in a minute, but I still think the Andretti project's going to get approved somehow. I still think Andretti are going to relaunch another bid. And it's going to be unrefusable. Andretti will be on the grid at some point. What year that is, I don't know. Whether it's 26, 27, 28. But they'll relaunch that bid. They seem serious. They're not about to give up. And we need an 11th team. And I think they're going to be coming in with like Cadillac General Motors engine. So... bring it on. Right, anyway, back to current day. And this is the final gambits, the final laps in Q3. Can anybody get near Max Verstappen today? It was looking to be a lot closer than it is at the moment. Can Piastri do anything? But here we go then for the final laps. Come on then, Oscar. Second in the sprint this morning. Can he go one better in qualifying? So Verstappen then across the line. A 1 minute 4.314. Oh, you're going to do well to beat that. The gap is nearly half a second now. Oh, God, that's a big gauntlet. That's a big lap to beat, that is. That's a massive hurdle to get over. It goes, Piastri goes second at the moment then. Not enough to beat Max, but enough to get within half a second and puts him on the front row at the moment. Sainz goes fourth in the Ferrari. Here comes Lando Norris and he takes 2 bites of the cherry getting into the second to last corner. That's not the ideal scenario for Lando Norris, but he is round the final corner to the line and retakes his teammate into P2 then. But it's still 4 tenths. Verstappen's got 4 tenths in hand. At the Red Bull ring, you are having a laugh. And Leclerc's off into the gravel, bouncing over the grass. Leclerc's messed it up big time. He's not going to be starting anywhere near the front of this grid as he bounces over the grass coming into the final corner. But here comes Lewis Hamilton then. What can he do? On the edge of the track limits, round the final corner. Go on, Lewis. P5 only. So it is looking like McLaren 2-3. Come on, George. He's the last one to come across the line. Can he beat his teammate? Yes, he can. P4. So it is Verstappen on pole position for the Austrian Grand Prix ahead of Lando Norris, Oscar Piastri third, George Russell fourth, Carlos Sainz fifth, Lewis Hamilton sixth, Charles Leclerc, who messed it up in the final corner, P7, Sergio Perez nowhere near his teammate yet again. How far is Perez off? Nearly a second, 9/10 of a second off his teammate for Sergio Perez down in P8. It is then Nico Hülkenberg, P9, and Esteban Ocon rounds out the top 10. That's qualifying in Austria, but you can't take anything away from Max Verstappen to beat the entire field by 4/10 of a second around this circuit is massive. It is absolutely massive, and it is a much, much, much bigger gap than I was anticipating. Verstappen has knocked it out of the park there. Knocked it out of the park completely. Knocked them all out for 6. GG's. Game over for today. I was thinking it was going to be thousandths, hundredths of a second. In the end, easy beans. He's just a bit wham jamser. He just ain't that good, bro. Get me in the seat. I'll get P8 in that Red Bull. We'll have a do with it. We're good on no hezzy. He's just not up to it. It's shocking from Perez, really. Not only that he's P8, but to be nearly a second slower. I mean, all right, Max Verstappen's probably one of the best of all time. I can give you a quarter of a second. If you're a quarter of a second slower than Max Verstappen, even 3/4, all right. But a second, give it a break. A second's too much. Red Bull, I said this the other week, Red Bull are going to be sat in their big offices, the big HR meetings, the big board meetings, floor 86 on the skyscrapers and going, should we assign Sergio Perez up for another 2 years? Probably not. But it is. And they're going to really struggle in the Constructors' Championship. Piastri's 7th. Has he had a lap deleted? Oh, Piastri's had a lap deleted. Oh, rip. Oh, no. He's gone outside the boundaries of the circuit. Piastri's had a lap deleted and gets yeeted down to 7th. Oh, brutal. That promotes everyone from 2nd up a spot. Well, from 2nd to 6th up a spot. So Russell up to 3rd. Sainz and Hamilton, Leclerc all get bumped up one. As Piastri gets slapped down to 7th. Savage. So that's it then for qualifying. Join me tomorrow for the Austrian Grand Prix. I'll be live from 1:30 p.m. UK time. Race starts 2 p.m. So a little bit of a build-up. But yeah, that's about it for qualifying. Hope you've enjoyed the stream. Please do drop me a like if you haven't already, and get yourself subscribed to the channel, because I'm live for every single Grand Prix from the Formula 1 World Championship. Tomorrow is round 11. Max Verstappen on pole. I'll quickly go through the grid then. So Verstappen from pole. Norris will start 2nd. George Russell from 3rd. Carlos Sainz from 4th. Lewis Hamilton 5th. Charles Leclerc P6, Oscar Piastri 7th, Sergio Perez 8th, Nico Hülkenberg, who's done very well in qualifying of late, P9, Esteban Ocon P10, then Ricciardo, Magnussen, Gasly, Tsunoda, Alonso, Albon, Stroll, Bottas, Sargent and Zhou. Thank you everybody today for joining the stream, and I will catch you tomorrow. Cheers, Jams and mate. Catch you. You'll at least do the late game, innit? You're at least doing Denmark, Germany. Come on, man. But if you are doing the 5 p.m. one as well, I'll be in for that. But yeah, catch you tomorrow, 1:30. I'll be live for the Austrian Grand Prix that starts at 2 p.m. And don't forget to get yourself in live chat for that as well to be entered into the next round of the US Championship, which is going to be on Monday night. Cheers, guys. Peace out, and catch you tomorrow. Verstappen on pole by 4/10. He's a machine.